Hi, in today's film I will show you how to prepare lawnmower to the season. This is my small, very old lawnmower, but for my little back garden this lawnmower is big enough. This mower was stored outside for whole winter, and there will be definitely a problem to start the mower. The first thing what we need to remember, if we're not sure, we cannot turn the mower on the sides or on the front. The only way to do anything with blades or to check the spark plug or anything else is to lift the mower backwards. Otherwise, petrol or oil can get to spaces where we don't really need it. Okay, so let's try to start the mower. It wasn't started for quite a few months. So we start as standard, pump the fuel a few times. And nothing. So what we should do as a first, if the mower was stored outside or was not in use for a long time, we should change the fuel. In my case, I just put a fresh petrol, so it must be something else. So let's check the spark plug. This spark plug is not in the worst condition. The place where the spark is gray, so it looks alright. It's a bit dark, but we can just clean it with a wire brush and check if there is a spark. So I just attach the spark plug to the minus, so anywhere to the metal cover, and just pull a few times. If the spark is okay, we can put the spark plug back into the engine, tie the spark plug with some force, but they don't have to be so tight. The correct torque can be found on the manual. So let's start again. As we see, the lawnmower started by rotation bouncing up and down. So the first thing what we need to check with symptoms like this are the springs here. Inside the engine is a mechanism. When the rotations goes down, automatically pulls the throttle in the carburetor, and it prevents the lawnmower from stopping, for example in the really high loan. These springs are very important. The springs cannot be shortened or replaced with different types because it won't work again. So this springs looks okay on this lawn mower. If the spring is broken, we need to get exactly same for a same model of the mower. If the engine didn't start at all, or the symptoms are same as on mine, so we need to clean the carburetor. So let's take the cover off. We have to clean the filter as well. Then we need to close the fuel. I'm just using pliers like this ones and just squeeze the holes in my place, so the petrol is closed at the moment. Then take the two nuts off. Underneath the plastic there is a hose from the engine, what is just pulling the air from the engine, and another one is just to pump the fuel, so we need to take it out. Now we need to remove the hose for fuel. In some mowers we have a valve to close the fuel. And pull the carburetor out. And gently we need to remove the spring and twist the throttle and remove the wire what actually pulls the throttle. I'm gonna take the carburetor back to the garage and clean it a bit. Let's clean it from the rust with the wire brush a bit. We need to remember there is still some petrol inside the carburetor. This bolt is to remove the water from the carburetor if necessary. So after winter, we can also remove the bolt and drain the water from the carburetor. But the middle one is to take the whole bit out. The best thing is to use any pod to catch the petrol, to catch the fuel what will come out. So unscrew the bolt, and look inside. That's quite dirty, so that's definitely shouldn't be like that. What we can do, we can take some fresh fuel, some clean petrol, and wash elements with the brush. We probably can't see it, but inside the hole there is a nozzle. So we need to prepare the correct screwdriver, flat screwdriver. If it's too small, we can damage the nozzle. And here you go. That's the nozzle. So we need to look if there is no blockage in the hole. If we have a compressor, we can blow some air with a high pressure, but if we don't have a compressor, then we need to use like a little pins, but not metal, definitely not metal, to do not damage the nozzle, or just blow by mouth. I've got a compressor, so I'm gonna just blow the air from every side of the carburetor. The most important thing, this is the nozzle for high rotations. So the main amount of the fuel is just getting through this nozzle. The rotation's been balancing because the low rotation nozzle is blocked. In this case, this nozzle is there under this screw. Okay, everything clean. So I'm gonna remove this nozzle now. This screw, this plastic screw, is just to secure the nozzle and slightly just move the plastic up. And this is the nozzle. This is really small nozzle, and this is quite difficult to see if it's blocked or not, or also will be quite difficult to blow this nozzle by mouth. So the best option is to use a high pressure. You can use the compressed air in the small spray bottles. So I'm just putting the big nozzle back to the carburetor. It don't need to be really tight. The best way is just to mark the tank, the little tank with the carburetor, so we can always put the seal on the same place what it used to be. If the aluminum is really corroded, we can just put some grease on it. So I'm just putting the wire face and the spring after that, and the carburetor back on. And now small pipe for fuel pump, the main fuel hose, And the most difficult thing is just to get this hose back on the pipe from the engine. We need to make sure the hose is back on, so we can put the nuts back on. And the filter and the cover, and just release the hose for fuel. If there is no leaks, we can start it again. Let's pump some fuel. All good. Now when the mower is running, we can just keep it running for a bit, 5-10 minutes, just to get it warm, and then we can drain the oil and replace the oil. The oil should be replaced every year. The older types mowers have a cup from the bottom, so if we put the mower on the table and just remove the cup from the bottom, we can drain the whole oil and then put a new one. On the new type mowers, we need to use the pumps to suck the oil out, otherwise we don't gonna drain it. I hope you're gonna start your mowers very quick, so I wish you good luck and see you in the next episodes. Thank you.